Just a few days after having hiked and fished the Red Rock Canyon of the Gunnison River, where I kept getting lost and had a life-threatening incident climbing over a ridge, I decided to hike down the Warner route of the Gunnison River and try and catch a big brown trout there. This is an extremely rugged route with an elevation change of 2,700 feet. To go through here, you need to obtain a permit from the Gunnison National Park South Rim Visitor Center at 6 p.m. the night before your hike. Only a few permits for each route are given out each day. This is not a first-come, first-served event. The rangers first try to scare you out of doing this by explaining the dangers and difficulties. For example, they told us a story about a person who had recently completed an Ironman competition but still ended up getting a heat stroke on the route and needed rescuing. Then they see who still wants to go on certain routes. I was the only one intent on hiking the Warner route, so I got my permit. I couldn't help noticing I was the oldest person in the group requesting a permit by about 15 years. Perhaps I'm getting too old for this. It gets 20 degrees warmer in the canyon, so I started really early to avoid hiking in the intense heat. This also gave me more time to fish. The first mile is a relatively tame trail that leads to the route. Some people like to camp overnight in the canyon, but that makes your backpack a lot heavier, and I'm not sure I could handle that. Then the real route begins, and it gets really steep. Here we go. The beginning of the Warner route. And what a beginning that is. Very impressive. I hope I get back. I hope I survive. It's already looking difficult. Through this hilly region, the Chukar Trail leads to the Gunnison River. I tried driving through there with my Jeep one day, but the road was so bad I chickened out and turned back. Beyond, you can see the town of Montrose, the main city of this area. Is getting steep. Yep, 2,700 feet to go. So I'm expecting it's going to get pretty steep, and it is steep. Oh, it's steep. It's really steep. Oh, it's steep. Oh. Look at that view. Isn't that a nice view? I think the Gunnison River's down there somewhere. The first part of the route may be steep, but is easy to follow and you're not likely to get lost. For the second half of the route, getting lost is something that will probably happen. The angle of descent is usually over 45 degrees. I'd say at least more than a 45 degree angle of steepness. Now that is really steep. That's like, you gotta climb down that trail. You can't walk it. It's really... To get in shape for this difficult hike, I was doing 600 step-ups per day and 50 push-ups. On the way back, I was using my arms almost as much as my legs. A hiking staff also helps. The descent continues. Now that's a pretty steep step. I'm going to have to climb down there. Although the park staff insists a GPS does not work, I had my Garmin GPS on to track my descent into the canyon. I used it to retrace my steps on the way back. At one point, I got lost, and the GPS indicated I needed to hike 30 yards to the left to find the trail, which I did. Without that clue, I would not have found the trail, and as it was about to get dark, I would have had to spend the night out there without any sleeping bag.
Whoa! Whoa! Landslide! Oh gosh! Oh! 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 Whoa! What kind of trail is this? Oh! 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 Oh gosh! Oh! 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 Oh gosh! This is gonna be fun. I think I went the wrong way because if I keep going, I'll go down that cliff and die. I think I'm supposed to be like on that ledge way over there. Not down there, over there. I went up all that way for nothing. It was all the wrong way. I have to backtrack now all the way to the top, get back on the proper trail. So we just climbed all the way up there, and there, that's where the trail's supposed to be, over there.
It is very easy to get lost on the way up, and in such rugged terrain, that is a real danger. I took a break to eat some food along the section and left my jacket on the trail. I didn't realize I lost my jacket until I arrived at the bottom.
Still so steep, but almost there. Getting real close. I'm getting closer. It's not getting any easier, but it is getting closer. Very steep trail. I've been on this for 3.5 hours. But there, finally, is the Gunnison River. Look at that. It's finally visible. So close. And yet, so far. I made it to Gunnison River. Good morning, dear. It's not even afraid.
Due to a late runoff, the water levels were higher than usual for this time of year. My 5-weight, 7-piece spin fly rod can handle either a fly reel or spinning reel. I put on a spinning reel and fished a spoon with a streamer and soft hackle trailing behind. I figured this would help me cover as much water as possible in my limited time. There are 7 different routes leading to the Gunnison River in the national park. While the Warner route is the most popular with anglers, the other routes also offer good fishing and the chance to catch a big trout. Some of them are easier and safer to hike than the Warner route. Here I could see a big trout. It wouldn't hit my lure or fly. If I had more time, I would have changed my flies and tried some different techniques, but with the long hike out, my time was limited.
it's a big one. Ooh, it's a big one. Ooh, it's big. It's big. It's real big. He's gonna try to get away. Shit. Stay out of that fast current. I got 2 fish. Holy cow! I got 2 fish on. Holy. Come back here, 2 fishes. All right, got a fish. Got 2 fish, but one got away.
While I was fishing the river, I met David. David was 19 years old and from Missouri. He was hiking with 2 friends, but they got lost and separated. He had no clue where the trail leading out of the canyon was. He was also out of water. In other words, David was in real trouble. I used my Grail water filter, which doubles as a water container, to get David some extra water. I also showed him where the trail was leading out of the canyon. He decided to wait there for his friends to find him. He also informed me his friends had found my jacket that I'd lost while hiking down the trail. On my way back up, I encountered David's friends. I told them where they could find David, and in return, they gave me my jacket back. It was a good trade.
This is how I'm going to get out. 5-hour extra strength energy.
I timed my hike out of the canyon so that I would get out of the easy to get lost section just before it got dark so as to maximize my fishing time, but also to avoid getting heat stroke. I barely made it out of the easy to get lost section before darkness set in. My headlamp was losing battery power, and hiking the final 2 miles back in such darkness was not easy.
Oh! There is the city of Montrose at nighttime. From on top of this ridge on Warner Route. Look at all those little lights. And there's my little trail light. That's all I got to see where I'm going. This little light here. As that's my only way back. Follow the little light or perish.
Overall, I consider these hikes into the Gunnison Canyon as a little too dangerous for my risk tolerance. I do not plan on going back.